Makes noise right now for the very funny Danny Shine.
You know, I was talking about that, that we have more strip clubs per capita. I think about that like once a week. Because who's doing the research? We all learned it when we moved to town, and I moved a decade here, and they've known it for at least a decade before that. And it's possible that it's changed, right? How would we know? I don't know. That's not funny. It's just a regular thing that I think about. It's just who's fact checking? Somebody was like, Tampa has the most. And I was like, I don't think so. And he was like, how would you know? Anyway. Anyway, thank you very much for laughing at it. You didn't have to. These are just my rants. I only do comedy not to be funny or anything. I work in a nonprofit, and HR's asked that I find somewhere else to talk about murder. So, thank you so much for laughing at that. I'm so glad you're all here. Each and every one of you really helps my plausible deniability. These are just jokes. I was told to tell jokes about how I look like Chucky. And maybe just a little bit angry. Because it's not the look I'm going for. It's not the killer look I'm going for. You know? Like more of a Bellatrix Lestrange. Thank you so much. You are my bar for success now. You laugh so hard. Anyway, thank you. You see it? But not quite. But if she had a hate child with Arthur Weasley, and the only reason they would have a child is because they read that epilogue and they're like, please start the apocalypse faster. You know? I'm like, oh, that's cool. I looked at that like that child. I really would be okay starting the apocalypse. I do work at a nonprofit. I worked at nonprofits my entire life because my parents realized before I was born, that if you sign your kids up to volunteer, it is not considered child labor. So they raised me with the same fervor for community service as Charles Manson taught his followers murder. So I'm doing... And I did used to practice those jokes on my grandma, and that's the only thing she ever laughed at. Usually it was like, have you ever called somebody and told them a joke and it was just silent on the other side of the phone? Like a silent that you're like, did they quietly die while I was talking to them kind of? That's what her normal bar was. And she laughed so hard at that Charles Manson thing. I think because she likes murder. My whole family I've never killed anybody. You can trust me. Just constantly shedding DNA evidence. Just a constant. Anyway, so I'm stuck in this nonprofit cult. And I am pro-cult. I am pro-cult. I want to be in a cult. Because I don't like making decisions. They say a lot of things about cults. And they're never like, hey, I couldn't get out of bed because I couldn't figure out if I should pee or make coffee first. That's not a cult problem. And I get it. They tell you, I watch all the things. They tell you how to dress and what to believe and who to sex. All of the things. And I know it's not great sex, because in none of those documentaries does it say, hey, fucking the leader was the best I ever had. That's not what they say. But at least in the morning when they wake up, they have a leader to blame for it. That's all. And that sounds nice. That sounds real nice. But the nonprofit cult is the worst cult. It is the worst, because all of their decisions are made by, I don't know if you've heard Robert's Rules and Democracy. Anybody? It's a real slow way to make decisions. Real slow. And I do think, for instance, I was in a board meeting once, and we talked for a half an hour about what color to paint the building. And at the very beginning of this conversation, I had pointed out that was the landlord's decision. It's just a slow way to die. It's a slow way to make a decision. And I've been in a lot of board meetings, and I do think that we could get to the point where we're like, hey, it is time to drink the Kool-Aid. Global warming's a problem. Lots of people, save the planet, kill yourself. For sure. For sure we could get there. Well, I'm pretty sure we would all slowly die trying to decide which color Kool-Aid is the most racist color Kool-Aid. Yeah. Some people have answers to that. And you're like, that's not. Why do you think purple is racist? I don't know. Then we debate whether maybe we should just drink the Willamette, because it's local. That's just it's not hard. Point is, when you don't like humanity to begin with, helping people is not going to help you. It's not. I was talking to a woman once. We were helping her stay in her house, and she was telling me lots of stories. And eventually, we got around to the point where she was like, "I don't believe the Holocaust is real." Yeah, that should have been my reaction. That should have been. But my reaction was like, "Oh, just like that, I don't believe in universal health care." What? That's not true. I mean, she didn't believe in the Holocaust, but I do believe in universal health care still. Because the only way I'm getting therapy is if we universalize it, and then I think if we put it like a station before you go into grocery store, because that is where I'm most likely to kill a person. That is definitely... I like to give the impression that I shiv a lot of people. Because it's even easier than actually shivving them. Just very dirty. There's a lot of blood to clean up. So thank you. A lot of people do tell me to kill them with kindness. They tell me that. And I think that they tell me that because they don't know how murder works. This is why... It's just not a murder weapon. That's how you do kindness. I know. I've tried. I've tried with a lot of people. A lot of people. A lot of men people specifically. Very specifically, a lot of white men people that tell me to smile. It's only them. I don't know what that is. And none of them have died. And none of them, I mean, not immediately. It's been decades, so hopefully some of them have been run over by a bus. But they haven't immediately died. And I don't get it, because I smile every time. I smile every time. Yeah. Because thinking about murder makes you happy, doesn't it? No. That's why I smile. If we're being honest, it's not, yeah. It's just, anyway. I was raised on a farm, so I learned about castration decades before intimacy. I'm doing fine, don't worry about me. I am very happily emotionally unavailable. So it's... Thank you. I do sometimes, I read at bars a lot, because I do like hanging out with people. I just don't really like when they talk to me and make me hate them. That's like... But because of that, I have realized that the whole point, the whole thing about flirting, in a girl-guy relationship, I'm the girl, and my job, thank you, my job is to just be very impressed by the very unimpressive, Yeah, it's not great, but it means that when they interrupt my book reading, I'm supposed to be like, oh my goodness, that was such a long and well-informed opinion. It was so long, so many words in that opinion. How did you learn to read? It's incredible. It's just, all right, thank you. I would have liked to learn. That's fine. It's fine. I'm sorry. Felt like attack, didn't it? I did too bad. Anyway, give it up for Hewitt. It's been great.
Keep it going for Danny Shy.